Welcome to Board Game Empire. We're going to be showing you an overview and review of Shadow Kingdoms of Valeria. So you are a warden trying to complete your 7 battle plans and get the most victory points. The game ends when one player has completed 7 of the battle plans, and each of the other players will get to take one more turn until everyone's had an equal amount of turns. And so the battle plans are located on the left side of the game board. There is a cost to the right of them, 1 through 5, and you will be purchasing those if you go to the correct shrine. I'll explain that in just a minute. Then you could also choose your champions, I believe those are called, and they have different types of rewards that are either instant, ongoing, or in-game, and those are represented. Each deck is a different type, and it also is shown in the upper left corner of the card. You are also trying to you'll get rewards on your campaign map, which you can get by taking these little tokens. Once you're able to remove those, you're able to put them either on your campaign map or up here if you've completed an objective. The game is not hard, but there is a lot in this game, so I can't really explain all of it in depth. I will just do a quick overview. But basically, each player starts with a warden that matches their player board. One campaign map. Those are double-sided. You can choose either side, and you're just going to be collecting those rewards based on what's on your battle plan card. You start out with 4, depends on the number of players. We played a 2-player game, so you start out with 4 of these gems that you can collect if you go to this shrine. In a 2-player game, you will have 6 of each color of the dice. You put them in the bag, roll them, take a few out and roll them, and you're just going to be equally placing them on one of the 5 shrines until they all have an equal amount of dice and you've used all the dice or most of the dice. In higher player counts, you might have some dice left. In a 2-player game, it works out to where you use all the dice and you equally have 6 dice on each of the 5 shrines. So during the game, the actions are very simple. You're going to be moving your warden to one of the 5 shrines, or if you can complete a battle plan, you'll be putting him back into camp. And if you have a battle plan, say here in your reserve, you'll take that out of the reserve, put it here, and hopefully you would need to have the correct color dice. You can go by color or you can go by symbol to complete that. You go by the number on the dice, which is, in this instance, it's a total of 5. That is your strength. There are other factors that add to your strength, but in just the basics, you would just go by the dice. You go by this little chart here. 7 or less is only worth 1 victory point, so you would just move your token 1 victory point. However, they are things that help you increase your dice. If you have a gem, you can use that. You can turn it in to either use any color dice you can trade one of your dice for any color to complete that battle plan, or you can flip it over to the opposite side. So you can make that 1 a 6, and that would be worth 3 victory points instead of 1 victory point. The higher your strength, the more victory points you get. However, you can never go higher than the amount of your influence. This green star equals your influence, and everyone starts with 10. So in the beginning of the game, 10 is the most you're going to get. 10 points or strength points you can have, no matter what the dice or any of your other factors say. You have opportunities to move that up during the game. For instance, when you place a battle plan card here in this reserve slot, which is open by default at the beginning of the game, you could pay 1 gold, which is represented by this yellow orange circle, to move your influence up by 1. You're going to want to do that every time, because having your influence up obviously allows you to gain more victory points. However, there is a stopper. Until you are able to remove this blocker, this token from this spot, you cannot go higher than 13. The way you do that, when you complete a battle plan, say I completed that one, you would put the dice back in the bag, put this over to the left of your board here. Again, when you have 7 of these, the game is over. You get to choose any of these tokens to remove from your board to put on your campaign map to hopefully get more rewards. So I would suggest removing that one first and foremost, because that's going to be the stopper, the main stopper from allowing you to get the most points.
I will say one thing, though, too, that you could use is the magic to manipulate the dice for each magic. It like if you have 4, you use 1 magic, it could be 5, you know. And
but it costs you 1 per pip.
Yeah.
So you only start with 3, so you would be able to do it by 3. And these also will be going up and down. You collect those in the shrines. So you're going to be in your campaign map. So here on this battle plan, the symbols it has are these 2 gray skulls and the little car. So you would look on your map. So if you placed it here, there's a car on there. You could get 2 victory points if you place it there. If you place it on this one, you could also get 2, because it's 1 victory point times each gray skull symbol. But you want to look at your campaign or your objectives. There's one that wants a certain pattern, and you can also chain these together. So if you already had one here, you might want to place it here because you're going to get that chain reward as well as the one you placed it on. The even sweeter ones, say you had 2 here, you could place 1 here and you would get both those chain rewards. So there's a lot of ways to get victory points and rewards on this, and you could see it's different, various things. The little symbols match the shape of the token. So this, you would get 1 gem. However, in the beginning, you can only have 1 gem on your board, so you would need to unlock it by removing that one, and then you could have 3. So there's a lot of things blocking, things you can do that you have to complete battle plans to be able to remove these. There's another way to remove them, and I'll show you in just a second. Another important one to remove is this one, because in the beginning you can only have 3 champions. So as you purchase these, you're going to be placing them to the left of your board. The ongoing ones you're going to want, so for instance, this one will get you 2 more strength for that type battle plan. See, they match. So that's an ongoing reward. These are all in-game rewards, and these are instant effects. So you're going to, at the beginning, you can only have 3 of those. When you unlock the next one, you can have 6, because you are going to be getting those a lot, and they do help a lot. By going to this shrine, it allows you to purchase one of those. So that's another one that you want to kind of unlock early game. So it's a balance of unlocking the right things so you can continue and progress in the game and get a lot of victory points, while also being able to progress with your champions. And so that does make this game fun, because even though you're doing the same actions, it's a balance of trying to keep continually completing battle plans so you can progress by moving these tokens off of your board to unlock things and get more points. So let me go over the 5 shrines really quickly.
And one key factor about these dice is that where you go cover the discounted is in the bottom left. So when you grab these, they will pretty much work for whatever location you're trying to get at. So if you're trying to get this area, it'll be discount. So the lower dice, so you get 5 discount with this one, but the higher ones, you only get 1 discount. That's a key factor that you have to remember when you get the dice.
Yeah, it's a trade-off. So the discount's higher if the strength is lower. Mm-hmm. The discount's lower if the strength is higher. So do you want higher strength, or do you want a larger discount? I was able to get champions, and so was Anthony, that discounted by 2 for my battle plans, and he had one that discounted by 2 for his champions. Those are very helpful. So what you do when you move your board into a shrine, you can't go to the shrine twice. You always have to move to a new shrine. First thing you do is take a dice. You choose any of the dice and you place it on your board. At the beginning, you can have up to 3 dice. You need to unlock more. Most cards only need 2 or 3, but there are a lot of cards that need 4 dice to complete them. So you would choose a dice based on maybe what battle plan you have in your reserves or one that you're wanting to go for. And the 6 has 0 discount. So I wouldn't get a discount, but this one isn't for anything that I'm getting a discount on anyway. And you would get to take 1 gem and put it on your board at this shrine. However, and this does have a little map here. It tells you how many of these gems to place on here based on player count. So once I unlock this and move this token, I'll be able to collect up to 3 gems. But right now, I can only have 1 gem at a time. This one allows you, first of all, remember you're going to want to take your dice. If you are full on dice anytime and you collect another dice, you can keep that one or choose one of these to replace, but you have to get rid of whatever dice, one of the dice, and put it back in the bag. So you're going to collect your dice first thing. This one, you get to move your magic up by 2 on your board. You can see it's the same shape as this wooden token here. Or you can, if you meet the requirements, you can complete one of these objectives and you get to remove any of your tokens off your board, which unlocks something, and you put it on the furthest left victory point space. So if you're the first one, you're going to get the highest victory points. This particular one is having 6 complete battle plans. This one's having 6 champions, and this one's having 5. I think that's probably 5 dice on your board.
Yeah.
There was they're all different ones. There's ones with different patterns, but you're only going to have 3 for each. You're only going to have the same 3 for each game. So you could place this here if you meet the requirements, and then you would that would unlock something, and you immediately just score those points on the victory point tracker. When you go here, this represents the champions cards. Whatever dice you choose, say I chose this 4, that's a 2 discount. So it's the dice you choose, you immediately get to use that discount if it applies. So I could purchase any of these for free because they're only 1 gold. This I could get for 1 gold because they cost 3 gold. This one I could get for 4 gold because they cost 6. And you just take your gold tracker and you just move it down the number of gold that it costs you. These is the immediate effect. So on this one is a nice one. You gain 2 influence right away. So you would be able to move your influence up by 2. This one you get to choose any battle plan card. So if you have an open reserve slot, you could choose that. Again, you only have 1 in the beginning. You have to unlock the additional 2. Then you have your ongoing effects, which are nice, and then your in-game effects. This shrine here gets you more gold. So whatever dice you choose, the discount is equal to the amount of gold you get. So this one is a 2 discount, so you would only get 2 gold. So in this instance, you probably want to choose the 1 because you're going to get 5 gold, and hopefully you have a gem that you can flip it over to a 6 when you complete you would just put that back when you complete your battle plan. If you go to this shrine, this allows you to purchase battle plans. And again, whatever dice you choose tells you the discount you get at the time. So you would just pay the difference in gold. And immediately when you take one of these, you're going to slide them all down and replace them. Same with the champions. As soon as one is taken, you immediately replace it. So it seems there is a lot to the game, but it's very simple. Once you play a round or 2, you have it down. And the book is really good. It has every single card organized by instant, ongoing, and in-game. So you don't have to memorize all of those iconography. Of course, you're going to get it after a round or two anyway. You'll instantly know what it means because everything is nicely done where it matches the shape of whatever token it applies to or the same color card. The battle plans are represented by red. The champions are represented by a gray card. So they did a good job of making the shapes easily where you can recognize them, especially if you're colorblind. That's good for this game because a colorblind person could also figure out that that's what it's representing. And I think that basically, in a nutshell, I've covered how you play this game. So, what did you think of it?
I really love the design of this game. I love the fantasy illustration aspect of the game. The mechanics flow smoothly. They're actually quite easy to remember once you actually play it. Like within 1/3 of the game, we knew right away. And of course, probably because we've been playing a lot of games, but I think this would be a easy game to teach someone. But then pretty much the replayability, I would give this like a 8 out of 10. I think it has high replayability because of the simple fact of the end game, and also there's enough cards where it becomes random, and there's also a lot of strategic elements to it. I mean, it is a little bit. It's I would say very little luck based because the dice are pre-rolled before you even grab it. So you do have a lot of strategic element to the game. One thing that did kind of confuse me, that says a push your luck game. There is no push your luck.
Yeah, I don't consider this push your luck. And I didn't cover that. When you get down to the same dice on the board total as the number of players, you take them all the dice, put those in the bag, re-roll them, and you put down dice so there'll be less dice later in the game. There'll only be, for a 2-player game, 2 dice on each shrine. So it kind of makes the game move faster because at the same time you're refreshing the dice, you're also refreshing all these champion cards. So all those are going to change. So those will be refreshing a lot. The first the game starts a little slower because you've got 6 dice for a 2-player game on all the shrines. But it gets more challenging each round after because of that. You only have 2 dice on each shrine, and then these are going to go away pretty quickly as soon as there's only 2 dice on the board. Sorry.
Okay, so for me, I would give this like 8 out of 10. I think this is a great game. I think it outperforms a lot of other games because it is simple, but still very strategic. They will have to introduce more of an expansion because I do feel that there should be more cards that you'll be able to get. But for a base game, this is 8 out of 10. I think as expansions come, it'll probably go up because it'll give it way more strategic elements to it. And plus, it'll introduce more cards. But it's very simple and yet still strategic, which I really like. So what did you think?
I had a lot of fun playing this game. We played it kind of late, and I still enjoyed it a lot. And it was easy to pick up. We actually just watched a video. I've become lazier the more games we play.
Yeah, thank you, Maple Mountain.
I used to read the rule books cover to cover and had it like down before we started playing, but I've gotten lazier on the reading because we play so many games. And
plus, this is not our only site. We have many different.
Right.
Like I have another YouTube channel. I
have a blog, so our time is limited. So I've gotten lazier on reading the whole rule book, and really there's no reason to do that. There's always videos out there on how to play almost every game. So we watched Maple Mountain, and he did a great job of explaining in the point to where you still have to look at the book and reference it and read it. I'm not, like I usually set it up.
Just for iconography.
Right. I set it up completely before we watch a video. Their setup is really nice. It's really good, really laid out very nicely. So I had it all set up. Then we watched Maple Mountain. Then I was able, when we just started playing, we were able to just reference the book just to make sure we were doing it right. And and they have a nice player aid on the back of the book. So honestly, I only had to reference the book a few times after watching that video just to make sure we were doing the first few rounds, we would make sure we're doing every step right by referencing that phase in the book. And that's how I would suggest learning any game, to be honest. If there's a how to play video, there's no reason to read through all that and try to memorize all that when you don't need to.
Yeah, because most rule books, they're good, but they jump around so much, they don't connect. And so it's easier because the people that do the how to plays connect it a lot easier.
Right, and they've read through that whole thing like I used to.
And they converse with the publishers to make sure everything is right. So
right, so that helped us a lot. And so if you do that and to learn this game, it seems like a lot, but it's really not. It's initially you're doing one step. You're moving from shrine to shrine, or you're completing your battle plan. And then the battle plan is really the only one that has multiple steps to it that you're completing when you do it, because you're scoring your dice. You get to move one of your tokens. You're scoring that, getting your bonuses. So that's really the only step that has several steps to it. The shrines, you're literally taking a dice, taking the reward, and deciding which reward you want. So I consider this to be a fairly easy game to learn. We had a lot of fun playing it. I enjoyed it a lot. Like, we will definitely play this game again. I haven't played the other Valeria games, but they have.
Yeah, we play Card Kingdoms of Valeria. Great game. Yeah,
so they have a lot of Valeria games to choose from, and I think we have another one that we'll be doing as well.
Margraves of Valeria.
Yeah, so if you enjoy this type of game, I would definitely suggest checking it out. We will put the link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. Rate? Oh, I would give this game an 8.5. 8.5 to 9. Probably a 9. Because I really enjoyed it. And there's a lot of these campaign maps. They're all double-sided to choose from. There's quite a few cards. I know he said there should be more cards, but there's quite a few cards. And like I said, you will be flipping through these very quickly once you reset those dice. They go very quickly, and you're like kind of bummed because there'll be some that you want to get, but you're not going to get them because there's only 2 dice. There's basically 1 dice per player on the shrine at that point. And so if another player takes that dice, you only have 1 opportunity before they refresh to get the card you want. So that makes it more challenging and more fun because the game is moving faster in that sense. And so you're always rolling the dice. There's new opportunities. And these the battle plans stay. So it's not like those are refreshing. But so it helps you work towards getting the correct dice easier, in my opinion. But so I thought this was a great game. So again, we will put the link in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. Did you have anything else you want to add? So, hopefully you liked this video. Please give us a like. Feel free to leave us a comment. If you're not already, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.